In 1982, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, came out and was faced with a very mixed reception. I say mixed. I mean negative. And over the years, it has been known as, why the Halloween movie that doesn't have Michael Myers in it. It's the black sheep, if you will. And for years and years, it was hated. People didn't like it. They disliked it. They threw shade at it all the time. They say, oh, well, Halloween 1, 2, we'll talk about 3, 4, 5, etc. But over the years, and I don't know if this is because we've had movies like Halloween 5, Resurrection, etc., that people have now actually appreciate this movie, and I'm just going to be honest, I loved it. I genuinely loved this movie. Now, I will be honest, when I did watch it as a kid, because I was big into Michael and I saw this as a kid, I was one of the people who's like, this isn't Halloween. This isn't... What? And I didn't watch it for years until I was an adult. I was kind of ignorant. I didn't give it a proper chance. I didn't sit and watch it in full. But, I was a big Michael buff. So, yeah. Watching it now, especially, it's insane how many people hated this, whenever it came out. Because, it actually isn't that bad. The only reason people don't like it is because, Michael isn't in it. Or the plot's a bit wacko. But I think it's an awesome movie. I think it just came out only called Season of the Witch. This would be a cult classic. Immediately. It's because Halloween is in the name. That was the anchor that sunk it, unfortunately. And it lay dormant for years. And, I think if any movie deserves a remake or a reboot, whatever we're calling it, it would be this movie. I think if they came out with this today, with this generation and with fresh eyes, don't change anything, especially that ending. Keep the ending. I'll not spoil it if you haven't watched it, but it gives me chills even today. But remake it, bring in a great, awesome cast, and just do exactly what this does. Just modernize it with practical effects, because there's a lot of practical effects in this movie, which I also love. Love practical. But it's interesting, they pretty much add every single thing I think that people can be scared of, all packed into this movie. Like, for example, snakes, spiders, bugs, the fear of losing a child, just literally everything. Supernatural. It's got all these genuinely fearful factors, and they put them so well into the element of plot, and it just works. Yeah, is it a bit all over the top? Sure. Is it a bit, but I think it works. This was directed by Tommy Lee Wallace, and the score was done by... I love the score in this movie, by the way. I thought the music was awesome. I love the kind of retro, real 80s style. It was done by the legendary John Carpenter. Never fails to impress when it comes to composing. In fact, I thought that the music in the very beginning, whenever the digital pumpkin is being made, I thought it kind of reminded me, like the music-wise, it reminded me of the original Terminator. Very similar. And also, the cast in this movie. Everybody involved did a really wonderful job. You know, we've got legendary Tom Atkins, who has a great mustache, by the way. Stacey Nelkins, I think her name is, and the villain, played by Dan O'Hivlery. I don't want to butcher the guy's name, but what a performer. All gave it their best. Performance, awesome. So, the plot basically just tells a story of kids, are obsessed with these particular brand of Halloween masks. There's the witch, skull, and pumpkin. And we've seen them. Thankfully, they've made awesome cameos and stuff in, Halloween 2018, Kills. Probably see it in Ends somewhere. So it's awesome that they're getting that recognition, and anytime people see the masks, like from Halloween 3. So I love that. Like I said, people are genuinely starting to appreciate this movie. That is wonderful. But the cast were amazing. Everything. I'm going off course because there's just so much to talk about. I could say about this movie. There's just so much packed into it. But the plot. Kids are obsessed with these highly promoted masks. And there's like a giveaway on the brand of these masks, counting down to Halloween, and it's going to be like an advert on TV. Yes, I know what everyone thinks, that fucking song, but it is catchy. I still hum it. I don't even know I'm doing it. I'm just singing it, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? It's catchy, but I don't think it gets annoying. I was never annoyed anytime I heard it. If anything, I started head bopping. Anytime it started coming on, holy shit, there we go. So, Countdown is basically a Halloween big event. Gather all the kids around in front of the TVs, put the masks on, and it sounds cool on paper, but there is a much more sinister and dark reality behind that, and that is what the movie explores. It's a simple story. There's a guy in the beginning of the movie running away from these people in suits, and he turns up at a garage, which I love. It goes full circle in a way. Like, it's the same guy that, this guy runs into his the petrol station, and towards the end, near the end, Tom Atkins' character also runs into this petrol station, into the same guy. So this guy must be thinking, I'm attracting all these nutcases. But so the guy ends up in hospital, and his daughter comes to try and find him and see if he's okay. Then a guy in the suit, different one, comes in, finishes the job, kills a guy. And yeah, that's basically Tom Atkins' character and the girl. Tom Atkins' character is called Daniel, and Stacey's character was called Ellie. So Ellie and Dan basically team up to try and figure out what the hell happened to your dad. Why was he being chased? What was the significance with the mask he was holding? And throughout the movie, just little pieces, little snippets of what the reality is comes, and then, look, I don't want to spoil too much. I could, and I know the movie's been out since 1982. I get that. But I genuinely feel stuff in this movie, the scenes, and there are some shocking scenes in this movie. There's one in particular when a family is trapped. Well, not trapped, but they're put into a room. It's like a test room. It says on the outside of the door. And what happens to that family is just so brutal, so terrifying, and just twisted. And The effects, absolutely amazing, phenomenal. One of the best scenes, I think, in horror history. In my eyes, anyway. I think, even now when I watch it, it's not goofy, it's not, oh, that didn't age well. It aged perfectly. And it tops most modern horror movies in terms of shock and just how the whole thing is done. And then whenever it's over, you're just going to be sitting there with your jaw all the way down, like, what the fuck did I just watch? So I think it should be watched just for that scene alone. I think it should be experienced. I think it's amazing. And the whole plot towards the end as to why these things are happening, why. That's where you meet the villain, Colonel Coughlin, his name is, played by Dan, and he gave one hell of a performance. There's an awesome scene where he gives a speech, and as to why he's doing what he's doing, and the way he delivers that speech is just chilling, and little details like he's standing beside the TV, and then the second he starts talking about the reason why he's doing it, the backstory, the big plot, real menacing story. He moves behind the TV as where the shadows are symbolisms, but it's so little details. It's very well thought out. And fun fact, there is a scene in this movie where Tom Atkins' character throws a mask up, and there's a camera up at the corner, and he throws the mask up and it lands. It actually took about 40 tries. Tommy Lee Wallace did say at an event. So that's a fun fact. And a good throw. Fourth time round. But yeah, and also, to easily put to bed people who say Michael Myers isn't in this movie at all. You're wrong. Michael is in this movie. But it's like a cameo. Colonel Coughlin puts the TV on and Halloween 1 movie is playing. And see Michael in it. So technically, Michael is in this movie. Technically. And I know there's so many awesome theories I've heard as well. I've heard theories like people actually connecting this to Michael's arc. Like all these men in suits, which is revealed later to be that they're like robots. And if you see the way they walk, it's pretty similar to how Michael walks. It's just motiveless, just walking anywhere. It's like anywhere Michael looked, he just walked towards that direction, like a robot. So that is actually some of the cool theories that people say. What if Michael was one of those robots, but he just designed to make his own motives? Like, go kill your family, It's interesting, isn't it? Cool theory. And you could easily make it canon if you wanted. But, me personally, I just love the idea of Michael just being the boogeyman. Just a man who isn't a man. Just his own little arc. I like to keep them separate. Just for me personally, but, there's fans out there that easily connect them. And I think it's awesome. But yeah, how the movie ends, again, I'm not going to spoil it, but it gives so much chills. And it's like, I remember when I first watched it, I was like, holy shit, they're ending it like this? I was like, oh my god. But it was impactful, and it was powerful, and hey, it worked, in my opinion. It worked. And also, the actress that played Annie in the original Halloween was actually in this movie as well. he was playing Tom Atkins' wife. So I thought that was cool. She kept phoning him and asking him to, when are you going to spend time with the kids? And, which I didn't nitpick in my head like, come on, dude, this has got nothing to do with you. Because some chick lost her dad and she's attractive and, you're a bit older, but hey, whatever. Tom Atkins' character was a huge flirt in this movie. That's one thing I noticed. Literally, he was like the James Bond of horror. But yeah, the whole thing I was thinking, dude, go home to your kids. This is, nothing to do with you realistically. And there's a scene where Colonel Cochran is, taking the family and, walking them through the factory, showing them how the masks were made. Gave me a real Willy Wonka in a chocolate factory vibe. I thought that was cool. But yeah, as much as I want to talk about spoilers, and maybe I'll do that in a separate video, but overall, highly recommend you watch this movie. Give it a chance. Don't listen to anybody who says, well, Michael's not in it. Don't watch it. It doesn't have Michael, so it's not good. Don't listen to that bullshit. Go out, watch it. I promise you'll have a great time with it, and you will enjoy it, because it has aged very well, and it 100% does deserve a remake. Give it some love. Hollywood, you've got a gem right here. All you have to do is pick it up, polish it. Simple. It's a great movie. So yeah, recommended, and if I were to score it, it would be, for me personally, for my experience, 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. It was awesome, well acted, and yeah, kick ass. So check it out, and let me know in the comments. Do you like this movie? Do you not like this movie? If you don't like it, let me know. Is it because Michael isn't in it, or maybe you just don't like the idea of the story? But let me know in the comments. We'll talk about it. And if you stuck it this long, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you and everything. I appreciate every single one of you for watching. Even if it was just for 1 minute. Thank you. And yeah, and as always, don't kill anyone.